So much in the way of tropics and the southeast, watching also closely, because when we break this down, we've been talking about one area, but there's something else we want to talk about.
Yeah, this is kind of a complicated setup, so let's dive into the details. We'll start first with what the National Hurricane Center is watching, and that is a spot off the southeast coastline. It has been helping produce some stormy skies. We got a cold front that moved through that kind of got stalled out across the area, so daily downpours, not a strange thing these days across the Carolinas. But as we work our way through the next 48 hours and into this weekend, could we see a tropical depression form? And the answer is yes. So we'll see, as things progress, what happens. But the National Hurricane Center going with a 40% chance of a tropical depression over the next week. So the hurricane hunters, they have a flight scheduled today. They're going to leave Biloxi from Keesler Air Force Base at 11 a.m. So that puts them over the southeast, this area of disturbed weather, by the afternoon.
Yeah, and it's a low-level mission, which is so critical. Figure out what's going on in those lower levels. Do we start to see something maybe take shape? And then I think they do it again tomorrow. We'll see. They're scheduled again, which is so important. The area that we're looking at is the potential development, all within orange, anywhere there. But notice, you're looking at all the rain for Southern California, or for Florida, rather. Yeah. And this is an important part of the forecast.
So this is where it gets a little complicated. We got two clear signals here. One that is arguably stronger off the southeast coastline, a moderate to high chance for a tropical depression. But notice that the eastern Gulf is being included. Again, National Hurricane Center not really pegging this just yet. Of course, they're watching
below that
it.
X, my friend?
But there's thunderstorms that are south, and our computer models are showing that available moisture, those thunderstorms, will slowly start to drift towards the Gulf as we work our way through this weekend. And there's this little pocket here where we have the moisture. The winds are rather calm. So what happens as this area starts to drift into the Gulf, where we have really warm water?
No kidding. Near 90 degrees or so, which is perfect fuel for anything that moves into that area. Regardless, you're going to have a lot of moisture to be just kind of squeezed right out over the area. So now you're looking at all the moisture yet again for the entire southeast. Over on the right side of your screen, you notice what's going off that direction over the Atlantic as well.
A much stronger signal.
Totally, yeah. But notice all of the moisture across the Gulf. Impressive, right? Let's talk about that stronger signal, too.
Yeah, water temps are in the mid-80s underneath this 40% chance formation area from the National Hurricane Center. So again, computer models are pretty bullish on developing something, but it'd be tracking out to sea. No problem there. The computer models are less clear about what could be happening with the thunderstorms to the south of this area, drifting towards the eastern Gulf. Most of it just keep it as an unsettled area, which can lead to heavy rain. And the signal right now is that parts of Florida could see some heavy rain. Here's a look at our water temperatures. It's a critical part of tracking all of this. In the Gulf right now, our water temperatures are very similar to where they were this time, last year, which is a concern because that was a big player in the systems that did develop in the Gulf last year.
Also watching the warmer waters in the main development region, too, because they're starting to warm up. It's that time of year as well. So in the main development region, we're watching not just one area, but really when we go long-term, several areas. The area you're looking at right now has a 10% chance of development in the next 2 days, 50% chance of development in the next 7 days from the National Hurricane Center, watching all of the area highlighted in orange. It's important at this point, because we haven't seen much in the way of these areas, that this is not a forecast track. This is where we could see some development within that area of orange, right? And you look and you're like, all right, here are the Lesser Antilles, there's Puerto Rico, a lot of it perhaps maybe forming north and northwest of there for several reasons that we watch. But behind this, more waves coming through, and those maybe going west. Let's talk about this first one right now. We have some dusty air, not quite as concentrated as it has been, but we are seeing some more moisture too. So that's helpful. There is some dry air in the mid-levels, but there's more moisture to work with around the storm. Forecast models, look at this. Okay, so we're talking about this one right here, right? And then keep an eye back behind it, just behind it. This is Thursday evening. Pretty good agreement with this one going west-northwest. And there, right there, you see that popping off the coast of Africa, the next one? And this one, notice its trajectory, perhaps due west. We just talked about the Lesser Antilles, places like Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, over into Cuba eventually. The reason we could see some flow off to the west is the high pressure. Now, how strong is it? Do we get kinks in it? Does it start to break down? Those little kinks open up additional paths for these potential storms or waves to go. It basically is like a little bit of a weakness in
Like an exit
bubble.
route.
Yeah, exactly. It's following the exit. It's following its nearest form. And we know, like, when we talk about water coming down mountains, it finds its easiest way down the hill. In this bigger scale, it's just finding those breaks so that it can follow that track. But take a look at this.
Well, and we also need to talk about the strength of systems.
Yes.
Stronger systems tend to recurve to the north a little bit quicker than ones that are weaker and take longer to pull together. You know, we don't have a starting point just yet, so we can't tell you the end point. But what we can tell you is that there's a lot of data supporting on the computer models that we're going to get busy, folks. As we get into the final couple weeks of August, we have multiple tropical waves that are anticipated to move into the main development zone that look favorable for development. The upside about making it to this part of the season is that we have time. When systems develop in the main development zone, we can track these things for well over a week, sometimes 10 to 14 days, depending on where they develop. So, you know, it's just a good early indications that we're about to get busy. Everything is showing us evidence-wise that we're going to get busy. So make sure that you are prepared and that you are ready to go.
Yeah.